Now let's talk about a very important topic when it comes to your Upwork profile. You got all the information on there, you have great portfolio pieces, got your perfect picture and all of that, but if you don't know how to sell your services, then you will not be getting any opportunities. So we're going to talk about how to optimize your profile and allow it to come into the search results that the clients would get. So let's go ahead and search for a service on Upwork and see how other freelancers showcase themselves on this platform. So right in the search bar, I'm going to search for talent. I'm going to act as a client right now. And you want to search for your field of work. So for me, that would be branding and UI. So I'm going to search that. Just branding. And I'm greeted with a lot of freelancers. And I can see what is it that they put on their profile. And then I can use that information to make my profile better. This is a standard way of researching. So you're going to see exactly what sells and what is in demand right now. So I search for branding, which is a general term. We'll get into that later, but usually you want to search for a very detailed term, like a specific term in that field. But we just search something general to see what's in demand right now. So we're going to scroll down here, and what we want to look at is freelancers, because we are freelancers as well. We're not agencies. Let's get rid of the agencies and stick with the freelancers. Let's scroll down to job success. We're looking for the top freelancers in the branding field. So 90% and up, we want to go for a very high amount, 10K plus. Want to go for 1,000 hours and above. So someone who's been on Upwork for a very long time and they are just really successful. So these are the results that I'm getting. You can see top rated plus. These two people have the badge right here. I can go on their profile and see what they put on display. Let's go with this person. So the first thing that we notice is the profile picture. So the profile picture, like we said, is really important. It's the first thing that people will see. And you want to make sure it's a high quality photo, and it really helps if you are either smiling or laughing in that photo. Having a smiling or laughing picture as your profile is going to make you more approachable, rather than if you had a very serious and very neutral photo as your profile. So this right here, you can see she's laughing in this photo, and this makes her approachable for the clients. The next thing is her name and all that. But over here, we are seeing the headline. So you can see that she didn't just call herself a branding expert. She's getting into the specifics. So it's branding and pitch deck design specialist. So this specific term is going to make her profile stand out among the millions of other freelancers. So your headline really matters. You don't want to put a general term like branding specialist or just graphic designer. You want to put more detail in that headline so immediately people know what is it that you do and what is your main area of expertise. We can see that her hourly rate is $95, which may seem high, but because she has so many customers, you can see she's earned more than 100K. She's done this many hours, this many jobs. So for her to put time for you, it would be a little bit more expensive. So throughout her years, she has finally got up to this hourly rate. Like we said, you cannot put something high when you're first starting out. You need to slowly make your way up to higher rates. The next item is the description that describes her and her service to the clients. Let's hit more. The first sentence is something that's about us, the client. Let's make your brand pop. When people come to your profile, they just want to know what you can do for them. They don't want to know about your childhood, about your favorite meal. It's all about the clients, and you want to immediately tell them what is it that you will do for them. So you want to grab their attention, and you only have 3 seconds to do this. If you don't grab the attention of the client in the first 3 seconds of reading your description, there is a high chance that the client will just scroll past your profile. So immediately, let's make your brand pop. I'm interested as a client because now I'm asking myself, well, how are you going to do that? So right after this sentence, she starts to introduce herself. But because she's already grabbed our attention here, I'm going to read this area. I can see that she has worked with hundreds of clients. This already makes her credible, and I can confirm that right over here. I can see that she has worked in different countries on a variety of design projects, and you can see that she has worked for large companies, Microsoft, Expedia, and much more. And finally, after all the description, she's giving us a call for action. So let's work together and create something unique for your brand. And then she's giving us a hopeful sentence that makes me as the client excited to work with her. I look forward to designing for you. So your description needs to follow a bunch of steps. First of all, you want to put a sentence that will grab the attention of your clients. Secondly, you want to quickly describe what have you done in the past and how is it that you work in this field. It would be great if you could bring in some examples of the companies that you've worked with, like she has right here. Of course, you want to bring in the names of well-known companies. And finally, she has a call to action, which is basically telling me what to do next. So if she just told me about her name and the areas that she's worked with, without telling me to let's start working, I would kind of be lost as to, okay, where am I supposed to go next? So right now, after reading this, I know that she promised me something unique for my brand. So you want to follow the same structure. Something to grab the attention, a short description of you and your experience. You don't need to bring in your entire work history in this description. And finally, a call to action. You want to follow the same structure for the client to kind of be driven through your description, and you definitely don't want them to be bored. In a little while, we're going to see what not to put in your description and some examples as to how you can transform basic descriptions into better ones. She has her work history and all of that. And with the many testimonials, I can see that she's a credible person and she's good at what she does. Her skills, this is her project catalog. And there's her certifications. So this is an example of a good profile for branding. Let's go back and take a look at some other areas. So as another example, we can take a look at, let's say, a general term like marketing. Again, we can see that the headline is more specific than what we searched. And here's a tip as to what you should put in your headline. Basically, as the client, you're looking for a specific type of task and not just the entire field. For example, if I'm looking for a marketing specialist, I'm actually trying to get that marketing specialist to do, let's say, SEO work or to help me get more sales. So this right here is a specific term that I will be searching as the client. Instead of marketing, I would be searching for a specific term like sales specialist. Because this is exactly what I'm looking for. I'm not looking for a general marketing person because it's a big field, and then I would have to talk to that freelancer as to what area of marketing they're best at, see if they can help me with my project. But when I search for that specific term, I'm basically going straight in with what I'm looking for. So you want to put that specific term in your headline. Instead of putting just a marketing specialist, a general term, you want to put a marketing specialist, maybe a dash sales specialist, or marketing specialist, SEO specialist. Like you want to put that specific term in your headline, or else the client will just scroll past you because you're not saying that you're going to give them exactly what they are looking for. Let's take a look at another example. Let's go to design and creative. There we go. We can see that this person is putting a specific term, graphic designer for social media. So he's not selling himself as a general graphic designer who does everything. He's saying that he's a graphic designer that specializes in social media. So if I was someone who was looking to make my social media post better, I would go directly for this person because he is telling me exactly what he wants to give me, which is graphic design for social media. But if he was just a graphic designer, that's a really general term, and I would have to chat with him and see if he can do social media posts, maybe go through his portfolio and find if he does social media design. But if he's telling me right here that he can do the social media design, then that will be a lot more favorable because I don't have to spend time looking through his profile to see whether he can give me those social media designs. So when we scroll down, we can see we have an expert graphic designer as a headline. This is not a good headline because it's not telling me exactly what she does in graphic design. I would have to look at her portfolio or the tags right here to find out what she does exactly, which after reading, I can find out she does brochures, catalogs, posters, and other things. But because the first thing that people will see is the pictures, I would want the main service to be right next to them. I don't want the client to search through my profile to find out what they want after minutes of reading. I want them to look at my profile, find out immediately what I can do for them, and that way they would be more likely to work with me. So you want to keep those key terms right around your pictures. So this is the picture that the person will see, your profile picture. So you want to make sure that the key terms are right next to it and not in your description or any other place where it would take the client minutes to find out. So those were some examples of really successful freelancers on this platform. And you want to make sure you spend enough time researching these freelancers because it's going to give you a better idea of what you should put in your profile. So you would just do your research, make sure you're looking for the most successful ones. So search for the job success, the earned amount, and then you would get the best of the best. Let's go in one of these profiles and see what else is available. Like the previous example, she's immediately telling me what is it that she does. Short list of services. In less than 3 seconds, I know that she designs business cards. Then it follows up with flyers, envelopes, and others. Let's open it up. So after she tells me what is it she does, she starts telling me about herself. But if this area was below this, then I as the client would most likely not read her description. So that's why she's putting her services right over here and then she's introducing herself. Because like we said, you have 3 seconds to tell the client what is it that you do. Now that we looked at some profiles and we know what we should do and how our profile should look like, it's now time to create a description and headline ourselves and see what we should not put in our profile. I'll see you guys in the next lesson.